In India, beef is a very controversial topic, especially cow beef or cow meat, because for many Hindus, eating cow meat is blasphemous. But buffalo meat is allowed in many states of India and is tolerated. Though at the ground level, many people cannot tell the difference between these two types of beef. Cow is considered to be a sacred animal by many Hindus, though I don't know why is it so. Why so much of prestige is given to this particular animal only? Because most Indians, at least now in 21st century, drink buffalo milk, not cow milk. So why the status of mother is given only to cows? Why not buffaloes also? Just because they are not fair skinned? Just because many don't perceive them as good looking? But do we bother about the looks of our mother? Even if our mother is ugly, will we not love her? But whatever it is, all kinds of beef are bad, not only for our health but also for our planet. Eating beef carries potential health risks associated with high red meat consumption, including increased risks of cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, hypertension, etc. etc. Beef contains lot of fat. More oil is required to cook it. So eating this food item can also delay our weight loss efforts. Several studies have found that eating beef or red meat in general might make you smell worse. Pregnant women and people with a history of heart disease should strictly stop eating beef.
Can beef cause colon cancer? This is Dr. Pal Manikam, gastroenterologist from California, focused on gut health. Beef is an excellent source of protein and iron, but the problem is when you cook beef at high temperatures, it can release carcinogenic compounds like polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons and heterocyclic amines. This can potentially cause DNA damage and could potentially lead to colon cancer. A recent study shows that 100 grams of red meat per day can increase the risk of colon cancer by 17%. Given this possible risk, if you really want to eat beef, I would recommend eating once or twice a month. So to enforce this, I told my friend Sarvana Kumar that whenever he gets a paycheck, he can eat beef. He quit his bank job and signed up for a daily wage job. The risk is also slightly increased because beef has no fiber, so eat your beef with lots of vegetables. My patient Arokya Swami eats beef biryani daily by placing one broccoli in the middle and call that as organic beef broccoli biryani. Share this with your friends who thinks that eating beef daily is okay because the cow eats vegetables.
No matter what we do, some environmental harm will happen. Many medical supplies produce plastic waste. To get clean energy, we need mining to extract lithium, nickel, cobalt, or graphite. But there is one thing you can do immediately to reduce your carbon footprints. That is to reduce your intake of beef or stop it altogether. That data is quite clear. Of all the food items we have on our planet, beef is #1 killer of forests. Raising cattle for meat not only risks wildlife but also has a great impact on climate change. Beef has driven about 120 million acres of forest destruction globally between 2001 and 2022, an area larger than the California, the richest state of USA. Regarding CO2 emissions, beef once again came way ahead. Though India does not consume much beef, it is certainly the second largest exporter of beef after Brazil. But it is the largest exporter of buffalo meat known as cara beef. It is Brazil which mostly exports cow beef known as Nelore or Bos Indicus. Nelore is the corrupt version of the name Nellore, which is a district's name in the southern Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. And within Nellore, it is the Ongole cattle which was sent to Brazil long time ago. This Bos indicus has a distinct large hump over the top of the shoulder and neck. They have long legs and are very resistant to high temperatures and have natural resistance to various parasites and diseases. The first pair of this cattle arrived in Brazil by ship in 1868. Today, Brazil is the largest breeder of this animal. So in this way, India or Andhra or Telugu people have indirectly contributed in making Brazil the largest producer of cow beef. According to a news article, the biggest Indian company to export beef also donated huge sums of money to Bharatiya Janata Party, whose members and members of sisters organizations create huge fuss about beef. If BJP is so passionate about cow protection or Gau Raksha, why did it take money from this company? So we Indians certainly behave very irrationally when it comes to beef. But if we are really serious about reducing beef production, we have to reduce the milk consumption first, because milk consumption is directly proportional to beef production. After few years, the buffaloes or the cows stop giving milk, so the milk farmers have no other choice but to sell it to slaughterhouses. People who are religious will not have the heart to sell their cows, so they leave it alone on the roads. And like an orphan, these cows roam around the city eating all sorts of garbage, including plastic bags. Usually buffaloes are not left alone. The only reason I can think of is they are not worshipped as mothers. Uttar Pradesh is the largest producer of milk. This state is also the largest producer of beef. Many mob lynching cases also happen in this state. I'm not saying stop the consumption of milk or dairy products. That will never happen. Even beef is not going anywhere. But at least let us reduce the consumption. Anyhow, too much of dairy is not good for health. According to a news article, 60% of Indians are lactose intolerant, but still they are consuming dairy. One area where milk should not be used is in cleaning our Hindu or Indic deities. Every year, millions of liters of milk is wasted to clean or to so-called purify our deities. And this happens not only among Hindus but Jains too. Reports indicate that around 600 liters of milk is used daily to clean the 57-foot monolith of Lord Bahubali.
It is a completely wrong conclusions that people have made, that they cannot live without meat consumption, our protein requirement will not be taken care of. This is entirely false. Generations of people in societies like India have lived on pulse consumption and managed their protein requirement very well. The protein that comes to us in the form of pulses is much healthier, cleaner and has much less residual impact on the system. So it's extremely important for the humanity as a whole to move in this direction.